Most of us start the fall feeling like we need to get everything put together, but forced consistency never works out.
This is for anyone who's tired of being all or nothing and just wants to be kind to themselves while being committed.
Hey babes,
I'm Madeline.
and I'm Deja.
And welcome back to the Elegance Exchange. So today is a very important episode because we are talking about building soft discipline. So this is not your do it or you die moment. Okay, this is your it's okay if you need to do it a little bit more gently and survive, just...
It's okay if maybe you need to break that super big task into smaller ones and take smaller steps.
It doesn't have to be all or nothing, like we said, it's part of life. You can't always be super hard on yourself because then you're just gonna get burnt out. And that's the reality. First, we need to define what soft discipline is. So, soft discipline is self-respect over punishment, okay? Maybe you are having a hard day. Maybe you are sick or you are on your period. I know when I'm on my period, I cannot always do everything that I want to do, okay? Because you just don't feel good. Maybe instead of doing that 75 hard workout that you told yourself I have to do every single day, maybe you do a little bit of yoga or Pilates instead, just so you keep the habit and you still move your body, but you're not doing it all or nothing. You're not breaking yourself and making yourself feel like you're gonna throw up just because you need to get your exercise.
And then you're also lightening up that load on yourself, so it's not so much pressured onto you. You kind of can still relax but feel like you've achieved at least some type of habit going on, like what Madeline was saying. Like maybe it may not be as hard as your 75-day hard challenge, but at least you still went and put some effort into those habits and still worked out some things that you wanted to do originally.
And guilted motivation burns out fast, right? If you can build smaller little habits, such as working out every day, and maybe you don't have a set 75 hard workout every single day, maybe instead you go based off of how you feel. You keep that motivation, you keep that discipline, instead of going so hard that you just get burnout in 2 seconds.
And then when we do all that stuff and we're so pressured into being like, okay, well, we need to do the 75 hard challenge, like get up, you're being lazy, all this stuff, it also just tears you down because you are so fast to just immediately be like, oh my gosh, like you start to talk down on yourself and you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm lazy, I guess I just not doing anything, when truth is you're probably just not feeling well and you don't want to have to work your body over capacity. And when is that ever good? That's never good in any circumstance.
Well, and think about it this way too, whenever you're building a fire, if you pour a bunch of gasoline on a fire, it's going to burn out so fast. Whereas if you build it from wood and you genuinely take your time and you slowly keep feeding it, it will keep going. But if you throw gasoline in a pile, it's just going to burn out fast and dissipate. So you don't want to do that with yourself. That's not what you want. But you also need to set some examples of what self-discipline is. Because I know it's hard to kind of understand, okay, well, what's the difference? So self-discipline is breaking things into smaller tasks as you go.
So like for instance, going back to what we were saying when we're like, if you do like a really, really big task and then like you pressure yourself, the motivation's gonna like dwell down. Like for instance, say you have like this report, say you have like an essay you have to do, and at the side of it you're like, oh my gosh, like it's a 750 word essay, like just from the start it's like I don't want to do 750 words, especially if you're not feeling good. So maybe you don't do 750 words in the span of 2 hours. Maybe you break it down and work on it section by section. So you could do like, okay, first 30 minutes I want to try and get 150 words, or first day I want to try and get at least 200 words, and then you slowly just go and you build it back up. So then you're not just constantly having this whole essay and you're like, oh my gosh, like I need to do 750 or I'm gonna fail this and it's gonna be over, and you just start dwelling on it.
Right. Or maybe you don't set that standard of, okay, I have to do it all at once, all or nothing, essentially. And you also need to reward yourself for tasks. If you are studying and maybe you do 200 words a day, maybe go get yourself a little sweet treat after. I know that's always my motivation. Or maybe reward yourself by getting yourself a good coffee from a coffee shop in order to do those 200 words. Just reward yourself for the little things. Reward yourselves for getting something done that you did not want to do. Because truthfully, it makes all the difference.
It makes you feel a lot better too. It like makes you feel like you achieved something. It's just like, it's like, okay, well, if I do this, then I can go and get my coffee. Or it's like, okay, well, I can't get my coffee until you know, you finish the words. It's like when we were little and we had to sit at the dinner table and they're like, you're not getting dessert unless you eat those vegetables. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna eat the vegetables then, because you really want that dessert.
Well, and I think all of us have seen either the people on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube who study, and they study until the ice is melted on like the, like they put their drink inside the ice and then the ice has to melt before they can drink it. Because you don't get your drink until all of the ice melted. It's just, I don't know. It's so simple, but it's something that truthfully really does work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then do it imperfectly, then not at all. I am so bad about this. I am a perfectionist at heart. I think Deja is too. And so we want everything to be perfect. But realistically, if you are waiting to be perfect, you're never going to be it. You're never going to do anything. And that's the harsh reality. But for this, I mean...
You know, you're fine. I was like, okay, let me think of an example. Hold on.
The podcast. We're not perfect, but if we never started it, we would never be perfect.
There you go.
Oh, I was gonna let you do it.
Oh, okay. No, and a good example of that would be like, for instance, the podcast. You know, we started this podcast and then, like, of course it's not gonna be perfect. We don't even look back at our old videos because we're like, dang.
Well,
like,
that was embarrassing.
That was some bad lighting, or like that was like some bad cuts.
Oh, my hair looked bad.
Exactly. But what's most important is that we did it, and we're still continuing to do it. It may not be perfect right now, and who knows, it may never be perfect. But at the end of the day, as long as we're still doing it, as long as you're still doing what you need to do, that's all that counts.
No, exactly. And there was actually a study conducted about this, and I can't remember it. If anybody knows what it is, comment it down below. But basically, a professor asked their students to build the perfect, I think it was like a perfect planter or something, and it was in a pottery class. And so he asked one group to build a perfect planter. And then he asked another group to build as many planters as they could in a year, okay? And you want to know which group was actually more successful at building the perfect planter? The one who built the most in a year. You know why? Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. And if you have that assignment that is due at 11:59, wouldn't you rather submit it and at least get, you know, a 70 versus a 0?
Exactly. Like, you gotta put in some effort into that. It may, and like we said, it may not be a perfect score. It may not be a perfect 100. But as long as you still show up for yourself and you still submit it, you can't get mad at that.
No, and I always say a 60 is better than a 0. A 50 is better than a 0. Anything's better than a 0. So just do it. Just try.
And that's when that self-discipline comes in too, because it's like, okay, well, you know, all or nothing, we could have been like, oh, well, I forgot to submit that assignment. Okay, well, we're not doing anything at all. Like, that's it. We're done. We're just going to give it up. But at least with that self-discipline, it's like, okay, well, you can breathe and try and get whatever you can done right now.
Exactly. And also focus on your identity, not the task at hand. I think it's very easy to say, okay, well, I have to go exercise, or I have to go to class. Say instead, okay, I'm a student, I get to go to class, or I'm an athlete, I get to go work out. Focus on the identity of it versus what you have to do.
Oh, I have to do my classwork. No, you're going to go learn new material for you to thrive in future success.
Whenever you work out, okay, I have to work out. Actually, I'm moving my body.
I'm making sure I'm healthy for the future. You know, all these things that you can quickly turn the perspective on and not feel so, like, just so negative about it.
Exactly. And self-discipline is all about perspective. If you are saying all of these negative things about yourself and you say, I can't stick to a routine, I'm never going to achieve my goal. Yeah, you're never going to achieve your goals. You're never going to stick to a routine. Okay, but if you say, I am capable of sticking to my goals, I'm capable of achieving great things, then yes, you will, because you're putting it out there and you're actively teaching yourself that you can do that.
Exactly.
So yeah, this was a pretty short episode, but honestly, you don't need a really long episode sitting here telling you that you need to be kind to yourself, because truthfully everybody needs to be a little bit more kind to themselves.
And like we said, with the start of it being November, we only have about 2 more months until the new year, so everyone's trying to quickly get into their goals, and they see their goals and like, okay, well, I didn't do that yet, so I need to hurry up and go for it. No, you're fine. Take a breather. You know, you still have time. You don't have to be disciplining yourself so hard.
Exactly. So we are on a bunch of different social media platforms.
We're on TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and we're actually now on Instagram Threads as well, so you can check us out there, but we're practically everywhere, and we love seeing your guys' feedback and your comments, and just like some recommendations of some new topics that you guys would like.
Yes, we are always looking for those. We upload 2 times a week, so we definitely do run out of ideas, so if you have any, put them down below. But yeah, and we also will have our season 3 playlist here and an episode for you that YouTube thinks you'll like. And there's also a, what is it?
Recommended?
Similar episode linked down below for you. So if you like this one, you could go check that out and get a little bit more detail. But alrighty, we love you. Bye.
Bye babes. We switch that every single